السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. I'm Mr. Ashraf. Now we'll discuss mock exam for term 3 grade 12 advanced UAE curriculum inshallah. Let us start. First question. Find the value of C for which f of x is BDF on the indicate interval. F of x equals cx plus x squared interval from 0 to 1. Now, the important condition to be BDF integral from 0 to 1, from A to B, f of x dx equal 1. So, we'll apply this condition. Integral from 0 to 1, cx plus x squared dx equal 1. We will use power rule. We'll increase power by 1 and divide by it, plus we will increase power by 1 and divide by it, equal 1 from 0 to 1. Now we will substitute upper limit and minus substitute by lower limit. Substitute by 1, we'll get c over 2 plus 1 over 3. This is equal 0. This bracket equal 0 equal 1. So we'll solve for c. 1 over 3, it became negative 1 over 3. So c over 2 equal 2 over 3. 1 minus 1 over 3 equal 2 over 3. We'll multiply by 2. So we'll get c equal 2 times 2 over 3 equal 4 over 3. So the correct choice is C. Next. The next question, find the shaded area. This area between three curves, we have to divide it into pieces, each piece between two curves only. So we'll make it two areas from 0 to 1 between this curve and this curve, from 1 to 3 to 4, sorry, between this curve and this curve. Okay, so we'll get now integral from 0 to 1, upper minus lower. Upper, this curve, red curve, 1 plus radical x, minus lower, it's y equal x over 3 minus x over 4, sorry, dx, plus second region, integral from 1 to 4, upper bound minus lower bound, upper bound 2 over radical x minus lower bound x over 4. So you can use calculator and you will get 11 over 3. So A is correct choice. Next question. Use cylindrical shell to compute the volume, the region bounded by y equal x squared and y equal 2 minus x squared, revolved about x equal negative 2. We have to sketch, we have to graph. So now y equal x squared is parabola open up and its vertex is 0 and 0. Other curve y equal 2 minus x squared, its parabola open down and its vertex 0 and 2. So this shadowed area will revolve around about x equal negative 2. X equal negative 2 is vertical line. So when we revolved it, we get this, approximately this shape. What is our cylindrical shell? This shell, I want find the volume of this shell and integrate it. Okay, this shell, this thickness is dx, and its height is the distance between blue curve and green curve. So it's up minus down. R here is x, the distance between this red part and y axis, plus 2 this distance. So our our rule v equal integral from a to b 2 pi times radius times height times thickness. Our thickness here is dx. Our thickness is dx. We have to determine r and height. R equal this distance. This distance is x plus 2. x minus negative 2 by x plus 2. f of x اللي هو الهايت, the distance between red curve and the green curve. So upper minus down. Upper minus lower. 2 minus x squared minus x squared. Negative x squared, negative x squared, negative 2x squared. يبقى 2 minus 2x squared. So we'll substitute in our formula integral from x in this area change from negative 1 to positive 1. So 2 by constant, we will take it common factor. Integral from left boundary to right boundary, from negative 1 to positive 1. R radius is x plus 2 times height 2 minus 2x squared dx. So you can use calculator to get 32 over 3 pi, or make it manually. Okay. Next question. Compute the arc length exactly without decimal. So we'll use this formula. S equal integral from a to b. Okay, radical root of 1 plus f prime squared. We have to get f prime. F of x is y equal to x plus 1. يبقى y prime أو f prime or f prime equal 2x derivative 2, 1 derivative 0, يبقى 2 plus 0 2. So we'll apply or we substitute in this formula integral from a to b, from 0 to 2. Radical root of 1 plus f prime squared 2 squared 4 plus 1 5 radical 5 dx. Integral for constant, يبقى constant times x from a to b from 0 to 2. We'll substitute upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit 2 radical 5 times 2 يبقى 2 radical 5 minus 0 times radical 5 0 يبقى 2 radical 5 minus 0 equal 2 radical 5. So the correct choice is A. Next guys, a diver dropped from 30 feet above the water. What is the diver's velocity at impact? 30 is the initial height. Now he use feet now. So we will use acceleration or gravity. Okay, negative 32 feet per second square. If we use meter, we will use negative 9.8. So this important thing, if our unit is feet, our acceleration is negative 32 feet per second squared. If our unit is meter, we will use negative 9.8 meter per second squared. You have to pay attention for this point. To get velocity, we have to integrate a respect to t. So negative integral 32 dt. We will get y prime, the v of t is y prime equal negative 32t plus initial velocity. When he was up, his velocity is 0. So c here is 0. Y الهايت equal integral y prime dt negative 32t dt. So we have to increase power by 1 and divide by it. Here power is 1, increase 1 يبقى 2, divide by 2 plus initial height. Initial height here is 30 feet يبقى plus 30. So we will divide by 2. Negative 32 divided by 2, negative 16 t squared plus 30. He want impact velocity. Impact velocity when height equals 0. So we'll equal y equals 0 and solve it to get t. Negative 16 t squared plus 30 equals 0. So we'll transfer 30 to other side by negative 30 and divide by negative 16. We will get t squared equal 15 over 8. We have to take square root. T equal radical root of 15 over 8 without negative because time not allowed to be negative. So t equal radical root of 15 over 5. Now we will substitute in our height to get height. So our correct answer is, our right answer is A. Okay, guys. Next, determine the area of region enclosed by x equal 4 and you saw now x equal y squared. We have to draw and sketch it. When we sketch, x equal 4 is vertical line. X equal y squared, as you know before, it's mean parabola horizontally with vertex 0, 0 or origin. Okay, so when you substitute x by 4, y equal positive or negative radical x. When you substitute x by 4, y equal positive or negative radical 4 اللي هو 2. Radical 4 is 2. So y changing from negative 2 to 2. So here negative 2 to 2. So area equal integral from lower and upper from negative 2 to 2. This curve 4 minus this curve f of y squared dy. So the right choice is A. Next, guys, this question, find the surface area. What is the rule or formula of surface area? Surface area equal integral from A to B. This like arc length, but multiply by 2 by f of x. Okay, so we have to get f of x and f prime of x. So this is our formula. F of x equal x squared. So f prime of x 2x, 2 by integral from A to B, this interval 1 to 3, f of x squared radical 1 plus f prime x squared when you derivative to get 2x. So 2x squared. 2x squared, 2 squared 4, x squared x squared. So the surface area equal 2 by integral from 1 to 3 x squared radical 1 plus 4 x squared. So be attention here. What is wrong here? This 2 not 4. What's wrong here? He use f derivative f prime f prime. What is the wrong here? He squared 4 but not squared x. So pay attention and you have to thinking before choice. Next, find the arc length of f prime. So here we have f prime not f. So we'll use it in our formula directly without derivative. So arc length is equal radical from a to b, integral from a to b, radical root of 1 plus f prime squared. So a to b, where is our interval? From -2 to 1, from -2 to 1, radical root of 1 plus f prime, already we have it, okay, squared. So radical with squared, it's opposite operations. So we'll get 1 plus 4x squared minus 1, positive 1 و negative 1 0. So radical root of 4x squared. So radical root of 4 is 2. Radical root of x squared here, absolute value of x. Why? Because this arc length. How we can get arc length negative? It has to be positive. So our right answer, our right choice is D. Next, the next question. Which of the following integration represent the arc length of f of x is equal ln secant x? The arc length, this the third, our interval from 0 to pi over 4. So f prime equal, what is the rule of derivative of ln? This function down and its derivative up. So secant down, the derivative of secant tan. So you will eliminate secant with secant. Then f prime of x equal tan x. Now we'll substitute in our formula directly. Integral from a to b, from 0 to pi over 4, radical root of 1 plus f prime squared tan x squared. So the right answer is A. Next question, my dear. The volume of the solid formed by revolving the region bounded by y equal 2 minus x, y equal 0, and y equal x about y-axis is. Now we have sketched it. It's already sketched. Now what we can use here we can, the simplest method here is washer. V equal by radical root of the largest radius squared minus the smallest radius squared dy, because we are revolving about y-axis. R capital from blue curve to y-axis. So it y equal 2 minus x, but we want f of y, not f of x. So we solve for x. we transfer x to other side and y to this side, so we'll get x equal 2 minus y, and here x equal y. يبقى r capital 2 minus y, r small y. So v equal by integral from a to b. a to b اللي هي y changing from 0 to 1, but x from 0 to 2. Now we will use dy, so the boundary is about y axis from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1 by r capital squared 2 minus y squared minus r small squared y squared dy, and we will expanding this brackets. First one squared, first one times second one times 2, negative 4y, plus second one squared y squared minus y squared, negative y squared positive y squared equals 0. So we have to by integral from 0 to 1, 4 minus 4y dy, we'll get 2 by. So the right answer is C. Next guys, a force of 6 pounds stretch the spring 4 inches. Find the work done in stretching this spring half feet beyond its natural length. We have our formulas. If f of x equal kx, so we have to know what is the value of k before calculate work, because work equal integral from a to b f of x dx. So we will calculate k firstly. When f equals 6, the spring f equal 6, x equal 4 over 12. Why? Because each feet equal 12 inches. So 4 inches equal 4 over 12 feet. Okay, guys? 4 over 12 equal 1 over 3. يبقى 1 over 3k equal 6. So to solve for k, we have to multiply both sides by 3. So we'll multiply right and left answer by 3. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 1 over 3, 1. 1 times k. So k equal 18. So f of x equal 18x. So work equal integral from a to b. What is a? 0, because in normal situation it's not expanding. So from 0 to half 18x dx. So our right answer, our right choice is B. Next our guys, a ball is propelled straight upward from the ground with initial velocity 58.8 meter per second, ignoring air resistance when the ball impacts the ground. Okay, the initial velocity is 58.8. Okay guys, so he used here meter. So our acceleration here, is negative 9.8 meter per second squared. So v of t equal integral respect to t negative 9.8 t plus initial velocity. When he come down to when it return to ground, it take two parts, up and down. So when this ball reach peak, its velocity equals 0. So it return back. Okay, so we will solve for t. So t equal negative 58.8 divided by negative 9.8 equal 6. So it takes 6 seconds up and 6 seconds down. So trip completely take 12 seconds. So our right choice is 12 seconds. Next question 5. Find integral from pi over 4 to pi over 2 cosine x over 1 minus cosine squared x dx. This question, if it multiple choice, you can use calculator directly without anything, but you have to take care the mode have to be radian, not degree. Okay, because we have pi over 4. Okay guys, you have to take care. If it not multiple choice, 1 minus cosine squared equals sine squared. So cosine over sine cotan, 1 over sine is cosecant dx. Integral of cotan cosecant is negative cosecant from pi over 4 to pi over 2. We take negative common factor, negative 1 common factor, and we have to substitute upper limit and lower limit and minus. So secant 1 over sine pi over 2 minus 1 over sine pi over 4. We calculate it. We will get 1 minus radical root of 2. We have to expand this brackets. Negative times positive negative 1. Negative times negative positive radical 2. So the right answer is B. Okay guys. Next, our future find integral cosine radical x dx. What is the right choice? I don't know. So we'll firstly use substitution method. We will let u equal radical x. So du equal 1 over 2 radical x du. So we'll divide both sides by negative will multiply both sides by 2 radical x. So dx equal 2 radical x du, but radical x is u, so I can write it 2u du. Now we'll substitute in the original problem. So we'll get 2 constant, I'll take it common factor, radical integral cosine u, I substitute x by 2u du, so we have 2u du. Now we'll use integration by parts. We'll suppose u equal u and dv equal cosine u du. So we'll we'll get derivative by derivative both sides, du equal du, and the integration here, integral of cosine u du is side u. According our formula of integration by part, u times v minus integral v du. Okay, now this finished, but integral of sine u is negative cosine times negative of positive cosine, and the u is radical, and we will expand, multiply by 2 inside plus c. So our right choice is C. Next, evaluate integral a power 2x sine x dx. Now we'll use integration by part. I'll suppose u equals sine and dv e power 2. Now our derivative cosine and the integration 1 over 2 e power 2x. We will now u times v I'll suppose this is I equal U times V minus V du. Okay. Now we get new integration. So we'll keep I as it and this as it, and this this part we will take negative 1 over 2 common factor and use and we will use now integration by part again. So we'll suppose u is cosine x and dv is e power 2x. By derivative, negative sign, by integration 1 over 2 e power 2x. So u times v minus v du integration. Okay, we'll get this. But negative, negative, positive. So we'll get this part. This part is the original one. It's same. So I'll make it I. I write I here. I and expanding or expand this brackets. Negative 1 over 2 times negative 1 over 2, negative 1 over 4. And this part, negative 1 over 2 times negative 1 over 2, negative 1 over 4, I. So I'll make like terms in same side. I'll transfer this part, negative 1 over 4 I'll transfer it by positive 1 over 4 1 I plus 1 over 4 1 plus 1 over 4, 5 over 4 equal this rest. So we'll multiply by 4 over 5 both sides. We'll get and we'll take 1 over 5 e power 2x common factor. So we'll get this result. So next, evaluate integral of sine cubed x cosine power 4 x dx. Now we have odd power and sine and cosine. This case I have odd power and even power. I'll take one common factor from odd power. I'll take sine power 1 times sine power 3. Why? Because sine squared equal 1 minus cosine squared, and here cosine power 4. I'll expand this brackets. Cosine power 4 times 1 cosine power 4 minus cosine power 4 times cosine power 2 cosine power 6 times sine x dx. Now we'll use substitution technique. We'll suppose u equal cosine x, so du equal negative sine x dx. So dx equal du over negative sine x. We will substitute now u power 4 minus u power 6 times sine x times du over negative sine x, but I took negative common factor, negative 1 common factor, so we eliminate x sine x with sine x. We'll get integral of u power 4 minus u power 6 du. This power rule will increase power by 1. يبقى y u power 5 times 1 over 5 times negative, ونيجاتيف times and negative times negative positive will increase power by 1. 6 plus 1 7 u power 7 times 1 over 7 plus c. Will now re-substitution. We substitute u by cosine, so we'll get this result. Okay, next, find the partial fraction expansion f of x equal. So he didn't want integration. He want partial fraction only. So firstly, we will factorize the denominator. Now we have common factor x common factor, so we'll get inside x cubed divided by x squared negative 4x squared divided by x negative 4x plus 4x divided by x equal 4. We will factorize this expression. We will get x minus 2 squared because it's complete squared. Our rule we will partial. We will get partial how constant over x plus constant of this repeated factor power 1 plus constant of this factor power 2. Now we want to make the denominators like the original denominator. Okay, here we have x, so we have to multiply by x minus 2 squared up and down, numerator and denominator, plus b, its denominator is x minus 2, so it need x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x. C, its denominator is x minus 2 squared, so it need x. So I'll multiply denominator and numerator by x. So this now this denominators like the original denominator. So we numerator equal the summation of these numerators. We will get this line. From this line, I want to find the value of A and B and C. We want find the value of A, B, and C. When we substitute x by 2, this equals 0, this equals 0, so we'll get C inshallah. Substitute by 2, 2 squared 4, negative 4, 2 times 2, 4, negative 4, positive 4, 0, 0 plus 4 equal 4. 2 minus 2, 0, so this eliminate. 2 minus 2, 0, so this eliminate. C times 2, 2c, so we will divide by 2, we will get c equal 2. Now we will substitute x by 0 to get rid of b and c, and we will get value of a. 0 squared 0, 2 times 0, 0, 0 plus 4 equal 4, 0 minus 2, negative 2 squared positive 4 times a يبقى 4a, this 0 and this 0, so we'll divide by 4, we'll get a equal 1. Now we'll let x equal 1 or any number you can choose it. 1 squared 1 times negative 1, 2 times 1 2, 2 plus negative 1 1, 1 plus 4 5, so we'll get this side of 5. 1 minus 2, negative 1 squared positive 1 times a times 1 equal 1. 1 minus 2, negative 1 times 1, negative 1 times b, negative 1b or negative b. c times 1, c times c equal 2 يبقى 1 times, so 1 times 2 equal 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 يبقى 5 minus 3 equal negative b. يبقى negative b 2 equal negative b. I'll divide by negative 1, so b equal negative 2. So we'll get a 1 over x minus 2 over x minus 2 plus 2 over x minus 2 squared. So our right choice is B. It's clear? Next. I hope it's easy. Person invests in a company at 4.5% مرابحة compound continuously. What is the time he needs to double his money? Okay. What is the rule? The rule of compound continuously مرابحة is A, the final amount, equal principal amount times E power ratio in decimal form times time. Okay. Now ratio is 4.5%, so R equal 4.5 over 100 equals 0.045. So our formula A equal P times E power 0.045T. Okay, he need double his money. His principal amount is B, double is 2B, so final amount is 2B. 2B equal P times E power. Now we need to solve this question or this equation respect to x. So we'll divide both sides by P. We'll get 2 equal E power 0.045T. To eliminate E, we have to take ln for both sides. Ln with E eliminated, so we'll get 0.045T. We'll divide by this number in both sides, so T equal ln 2 over 0.045. We'll use calculator to get T equal 15.4, choice C. Next question. Solve the equation y prime equal brackets 2x plus 1 times cosine squared y with y of 0 equal pi over 4. Now this differential equation, to solve it, we have to separate y prime with function with f of y and f of x with dx. So we'll divide both sides by cosine squared y. We'll get y prime over cosine. Cosine squared down. The reciprocal of cosine squared is secant squared y dy. Okay. Now cosine squared with cosine squared will get 2x plus 1. We'll integrate both sides by y and the other sides by x. Integral of secant squared is tan because the derivative of tan is secant squared equal. Now we'll increase power by 1 and divide by it. This power 1, increase 1, we get 2, divide by 2, 2 with 2, 1, يبقى 1x squared, plus integral of 1 is x because derivative of x is 1, plus c. To get c, we have to use this condition. When you substitute x by 0, y became pi over 4. So we substitute by over 4, y by pi over 4 and x by 0. So tan y tan pi over 4 equals 0 squared plus 0 plus c. 0 squared equals 0 plus 0, 0 plus c. Tan pi over 4 equal 1, so c equal 1. So tan y equal x squared plus x plus 1. When we separate it, solve this equation, except to get for y, we'll transfer tan other side to tan inverse or arctan. So y equal tan inverse x squared plus x plus 1. Next, find the area of region determined by the intersection of the curves كذا كذا كذا. Y equal x, y equal 2, y equal 6 minus x, y equal 0. So we have to sketch or graph y equal x, this red line, y equal 2, this horizontal line, y equal 6 minus x, this blue line, y equal 0, x-axis. So this green area. This green area will find its value. So x equal y. Y equal 6 minus x. We will solve for x to get x equal 6 minus y. So A equal integral from 0 to 2 blue minus red. Blue 6 minus y minus red y dy. So we'll add like terms negative y plus negative y negative 2y, and we can use calculator to get 8. So the right answer is C. Okay, guys. I hope you pleasure with me and you useful. You have to subscribe and like this video on my channel to get my newest videos. Thank you, my guys. Goodbye and good luck.